In this video, I am going to show you how you can make really easy German, we call them Schmalzkuchen. And essentially what they are tiny little donuts. And you can either leave them unfilled, which is what I'm going to do because they're so small that it's really hard to put any filling in there, or you can make them a little bit bigger and round and fill them. So that's entirely up to you. I'm going to talk a little bit about where and when you would eat them in Germany. Then I'm going to teach you the recipe. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, you can always let me know below this video if you have anything to share with me. And if you're new on my channel, my name is Anja and I'm here at our Gabled home, where I love sharing our simple heritage homemaking and homesteading journey with lots of really yummy recipes, a lot of them German, just like this one. And if you're not subscribed, I would absolutely love it if you subscribed. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. So this recipe is fairly ubiquitous in Germany. You might see it at Christmas markets where you get it in little triangular shaped paper bags and you eat the fresh, hot little fried pastries out of the bag. They're covered with powdered sugar. Or you get them a little bit later in the year. We like to have them for New Year's Eve because there is an assumption or some saying that if you have this type of sweets, there's going to be a lot of good luck in the new year, and who doesn't want that? Depending on the region in Germany, they are called various different things, and there really isn't any good translation in English, so I'm just call them either fried pastries or tiny donuts. So let's actually get ahead and make these. In a medium-sized bowl, and I'm using the one here for my KitchenAid mixer because I'll let the mixer do the work for me, I am putting 2 3/4 cups of flour. I have 5 ounces of very warm milk. I have 3½ tablespoons of butter that I'm putting right in the warm milk because that will help soften up the butter. I have 3 tablespoons of sugar. I have 1 teaspoon of yeast. I have 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then I'm using my own vanilla sugar. If you don't have that, you can always use vanilla extract. Here's a card of how you can make your own vanilla sugar. And if you're using the liquid vanilla extract, you might want to go a little less on the milk so that your dough doesn't come out too runny. And I am using 2 teaspoons of the sugar. I have the beans in here, so it's really easy to make your own. And 1 egg. And now we'll put that into the KitchenAid with the dough hook attached and mix it first on low speed, and then we'll increase it to high speed for a few minutes to give the yeast a good working and to get the yeast going. So I'll show you what that looks like. Put the bowl in. And if you don't have a KitchenAid mixer, you can obviously always do this by hand or use any other mixer that you have. You can already tell, just like in my case, that your dough is too soft and it's not really coming together. You can always incrementally add a little bit more flour, which is now the dough doesn't stick to the bowl anymore or the dough hook, and I will clean it off the dough hook here. This is what it looks like, and now we'll let it sit covered in a warm spot for about an hour or until the dough has visibly risen. So after a while, once the dough has visibly risen, we will roll it out on a floured surface. So we'll do that over here. roll it out to a square, any shape you like, because we are cutting it in smaller pieces. It doesn't really matter so much what shape you roll it out to. And I will cut it in little squares. You can also do that with a pizza wheel. Obviously you're getting some irregular shapes up here, but I always think that's the fun of making something at home. And then I like to cut them diagonally. Let them sit for just a little bit longer so they have a chance to rise a little bit more, and I will go ahead and separate these guys. You can also make little balls, so anything really works here. There's no one way that's right or wrong. In the meantime, I've gone ahead and melted my fat here for frying, and I like to use some rendered lard, or I had some goose lard. You can also use coconut fat or avocado oil, or if you have that at home, canola oil or any oil that you have. And the ideal temperature is around 325 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you're not quite sure about that, you can always use a meat thermometer to check the temperature, because you don't want to over fry the little donut squares. And we'll go ahead and fry them up by adding just a few at a time. Once they're golden brown, you can remove them from the fat, and I like to drain them on a cooling rack with a piece of paper towel, and then I'll go ahead and fry the remaining squares here. Once your Schmalzkuchen are golden brown, you can sprinkle some powdered sugar on them, give them a good dusting, and they're actually best when they're still hot, but you can enjoy them later, and as I said, you can fill them or leave them unfilled. Obviously these are a little bit bigger and you can make them a little bit smaller. They are absolutely delicious. They look fantastic. If you enjoyed this video and this recipe, I have an entire playlist of more German recipes up here. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.